Time for a crypto market update, September 12th, 2025. This is the total 3 crypto market cap. Now, if you're a crypto investor, this is a really important chart because it shows you all of crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it was currently, this is the daily chart, so every candle represents 1 day of time. And it's been consolidating in what we call a symmetrical triangle. And usually 60 or 70% of the time, the way it goes in is the way it goes out. The trend, that is up. And you can see it broke through. It broke that symmetrical trend. And I wouldn't be surprised if in and around the September 17th Fed fund policy announcement, we get a little bit of a retest and then go, because the measured move of that flagpole, if you move it over here to the breakout level approximately, puts about another $1 trillion into the crypto total market 3 market cap. And that is going to be really fun. I do fully anticipate Bitcoin to take over, or it kind of already has, but to maintain leadership moving through the next several weeks, but that's going to be the tide that rises all ships. Ultimately, we're going to be watching Bitcoin dominance again like a hawk, because that's going to plummet. And when that plummets, everything else down here on this list in altcoin world is going to go really high in price. I say everything, not everything. Okay, there's 30 million plus crypto assets available now, okay? Every 19-year-old with AI can launch a meme coin. I'm not talking about that stuff. When it comes to wealth building, the appreciation or the accretive nature of the bull run still matters, or it still requires a strategic acquisition strategy and a strategic exit plan. Here's an interesting little tidbit as well. Since July of 2024, the Bitcoin local bottom has happened around the 10th of every month since July 24. Now, why do I point this out? Because if you've been following me for any amount of time, I always talk about the recipe for crypto wealth building having 2 main ingredients. Crypto literacy skills, right? Knowing how to interact with the wallets and the blockchains and the tokens and understanding the jargon, the categories, right? Literacy. But the second one might be the most impactful, and that is market cycle knowledge. Understanding where you are on the hiking trail so that you don't get lost. I don't know how many countless people I've spoken with over the last 4 years who've told me something along the lines of, yeah, I was in crypto and I made a lot of money, but I never took profits and I lost X amount of dollars of unrealized profits or unrealized gains. That almost always has something to do with being in the market, getting into the market late in the cycle, near the mountaintop, and not knowing that there's a Marianas Trench of a bear market waiting on you. And now we're at what we call a cup and handle. And what happens next is really fun. It's what we call the markup period in the Wyckoff method, if you're fans of Richard Wyckoff. But what happens next is not eternal. And if someone's telling you to hodl, well, this is what that's going to create in terms of outcome for you. There's actually very few, maybe not more than 2 cryptos that you actually want to buy and hold. You need to make sure you take profits in fiat currency profits, because usually during bear markets, you see an 80 to 90% correction on almost all digital assets. Bitcoin being an exception, where we usually get a 50 to 70% correction. Most people get stuck in crypto in what I call the buy, hold, and hope strategy, which is really not a strategy at all. Think about what you're really good at. Think about your job or your hobby, the thing that you've done hundreds of, if not thousands of times, right? You have this little thing called pattern recognition. You can kind of almost anticipate what comes next. Your job as a crypto investor is to develop pattern recognition. And the only way you can do that is if you have proper feedback loops installed. And a great feedback loop, or some examples of feedback loops in crypto investing, are, number one, learning one or two simple methods that allow you to see charts, not from a day trading perspective, but just from like a waypoint, an orientation perspective. Number two, surrounding yourself with people that you trust, that share your core values, that have similar goals that you're trying to reverse engineer alongside of. Number three, providing or injecting yourself into an environment where there's a level of mentorship or someone ahead of you, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead, who've seen it before. If you've got somebody ahead of you on the hiking trail, somebody with you on the hiking trail, looking at all the data together at the same time, you're going to develop pattern recognition. What's not going to help you develop pattern recognition is simply checking prices every day. That's what we call being slave to the tape, and it's not helpful. It's not good for your emotions, and as an investor, especially a crypto investor, the volatility of crypto is not a bug, it's a feature. But if you don't have pattern recognition, it's going to be a bug for your heart. It's going to really drive you crazy and create emotional stress. If you're tired of the crypto emotional stress, visit cryptoyall.com for more guidance and structure. And hey, you might even pick up some pattern recognition. If you love this kind of content, you want more down-to-earth crypto guidance, give me a number 2 in the comments. I'll engage with you. Share this with a crypto curious friend and give me a bookmark. Maybe the algorithm will show this to more people. Like and follow for more.